So in my career, I've been fortunate enough to play some roles that resonated with women, let's say, like in a road warrior or a baseball phenomenon or the president of the United States. So, so I developed a sort of unique perspective on the way women are portrayed in the media. You know, fully realizing that there seem to be far fewer parts for women than men, but this will be fixed and I'll be the one to do it, and you know, as time went on, I saw how intractable the problem was. The thing I didn't notice was, until I had a daughter, when she was 2 years old and I started watching, you know, G-rated videos and little kid stuff with her, I was floored to notice, because now I had this spidey sense that there seemed to be far fewer female characters than male characters in what little kids were seeing. And I thought, wow, you know, in the 21st century, surely we should be showing boys and girls sharing the sandbox equally. It just didn't make any sense to me that we would introduce them to an imbalanced world so early. So I decided that I was going to mention it, and I didn't intend to make it my life's work at that time, but I just mentioned it if I had a meeting at a studio or with a producer or somebody. I say, have you ever noticed how few female characters there are in G-rated movies? And to a person, they said, oh, no, that's been fixed. And my impression was very much that it had not been fixed, except some preschool television shows are very balanced. The Teletubbies, if you can discern their gender, are actually very balanced. This made me realize nobody's noticing what I think I'm noticing, so I need the data. And so I started my institute, and we've now sponsored the largest amount of research ever done on gender depictions in television and movies, mostly focusing on family fare. And the results were very disturbing. For every one male character, this is in films, in family films, for every three male characters, there's one female character. And if you look at only crowd scenes, only 17% of crowd scenes in movies are female, in both animated and live action, 17%. It's almost like you would have to go out of your way to leave out that many women, it seems. Also, there were women were missing from big occupational sectors. In fact, in family films, 81% of the characters who had jobs were men. The male characters held 81% of the jobs. And if you looked at specific categories like STEM, for instance, the ratio was 15-1. So what we do with this research is go directly to, because I'm in the industry, we go directly to the creators of media, the studios, the networks. We go to the guilds, Writers Guild, Directors Guild, and present our findings. The good news is they're shocked. They're absolutely shocked. They really sincerely believed they were addressing the problem of gender parity by creating female characters that were strong and smart and powerful and brave, and then not thinking about the world that's being created, that the fictitious worlds that were being created were bereft of female presence. And we know that media images are incredibly powerful. They can be just as powerful in a positive direction as a negative direction. In fact, if girls see female characters engaged in unstereotyped activities, they're much more likely to pursue a non-traditional career when they grow up. As we say, if they see it, they can be it. What we really need to do is to get past this hurdle of there's the first woman, whatever, there's the only woman on the whatever, and because it's so limiting. There's a plot in Hollywood films that I keep encouraging people to abandon, which is, hey, wait a minute, there's a girl here, and she can do it too. You know, like she whips off her helmet and her hair goes like that, and oh my God, it's so much. You just, no, let's forget that. Let's get beyond that stage where it's so unique that women, and I think what we're talking about is leadership, getting more women in leadership positions, because we see them in the lower levels. There was a study done at Rutgers that showed, they looked at 10 sectors of society to find out the percentage of women in leadership positions, and it was academia, law, politics, media, etc. And across the board of these 10 sectors, the average percentage was 20% in all of these fields. And if you look at specific categories, you see that this range is everywhere. You might notice it now. You might even in your own company say, uh-oh, we have 17% women in this department or whatever. 17% of cardiac surgeons are women, 17% of the Animators Guild, 16.1% of Fortune 500 boards. And the other ones aren't coming to me, but there's a lot right in that range. And P.S., the percentage of women in crowd scenes in the world of movies is 17%.
Okay.
So what if we are training generation after generation through this massive consumption of media to see that as normal? That's the normal ratio. So when you get there, you feel, like we're done. We've done it, because a lot of times people say, but we have women. And then it turns out it's only 17 or 20%. So in order to get to 50%.
We just have to crack that 17% barrier, and then we'll have exponential acceleration after that?
That's my theory. A big part of it is that we're not seeing it in the culture. We see individual role models in real life, but there's no cohesive story yet. But images in the media, I mean, we could change what the future looks like in the time it takes to develop a TV series or create a movie, because if I want to be a nuclear physicist, it's going to take me a long time, but I can play one tomorrow. By the way.
Yeah, really. Any producers in the...
Yeah, well, probably not, unfortunately. But so in our research of occupations, there was one point that the researcher made that was very funny, that we need work no further to encourage women to go into forensic science. That's way up there, and because there's so many, CSI female characters, and the number of women studying that field and wanting to go into that field has skyrocketed. And you have to wonder, are so many women studying law and medicine because there's so many legal and medical shows on television? This is not to be self-serving, but when I had the show about the president, my administration was very short. Alas, too short. But there was a study done after that found people familiar with the show were 68% more likely to vote for a female candidate for president, just by seeing 18 times this character sitting behind the desk. Because then you say...
Yeah, exactly. Let's have a wrap up.
But the point being, that looks normal. Now I'm used to it. So if we saw boards in movies that were half female, I mean, forget about reflecting reality for just do it. It's going to become much more accepted by men and women, because men need to see women in those positions just as much as we need the encouragement to go for them. I ask studios to, before they start making a movie, just go through it and see, can anybody here become female? Because I'm sure they didn't think of that. They did not think of that. And if they do, they'll say, this person can become female. And the final thing I wanted to say was, we met the prime minister of, a former prime minister of Finland recently, and she said she had been president, for like 16 years or something. She got a letter from a little boy who said, I'm just wondering, Madam President, will it ever be possible for a boy to become president? So this is something we made up, and we could have it turn around. We can.
That is great. Yeah. Well, I'd like to thank the Global Conference for giving us the opportunity to have this conversation. And ladies, thank you very much to all of you. Thank you all.